Coming up tonight on Game All Night, Mark Streed from Boardgame Corner joins me. This Week and Each Week is brought to you by Game Toppers. Upgrade your gaming experience.
Welcome to Game All Night.
Well, hello and welcome to another Game All Night. Tonight, I'm about to be joined by Mark Streed of Boardgame Corner and Dice Tower fame, so that's going to be fun. Mark has actually been somebody I've wanted to get on for quite a while, so I'm excited about this conversation we're going to have. So we'll get to that in a quick second. Mr. Dan, what are you drinking, sir?
Oh, okay. Well, I am working on an ale from Weyerbacher, which is not too far from us. Easton, PA Brewery, Weyerbacher.
Sure.
I'm a big fan of theirs. I like to get over there when I can. And they have this Last Chance IPA, which is actually a cause they're doing where they're dedicating part of the proceeds from sales of this to saving animals. And they have a pet on each can. All the cans are different with different pictures of folks' pets and a little about their backstory. So that's also a tasty beer on top of that.
It is, and it's deceptive because you think it's the last chance to buy it, and that's not at all what their shtick is with this one.
I'm afraid that's not where they're going with that.
No. And I got some spiked coffee tonight. I just did some a little bit of that cream of maple that you got sitting over there with some coffee. You know.
Yeah, it's our second recording this evening, so we're going into the wee hours. So you needed a little extra punch to
sure. A little peek behind the curtain, as it will. So, well, without further ado, Mr. Mark, are you drinking anything this evening?
It's interesting you say that because one of my big weight loss things was to no longer drink my calories.
Right.
And I know that's giving up some pretty big things. You know, I'm in Fort Collins, Colorado, and there's a lot of microbreweries here.
Absolutely.
New Belgium is here, right? So, so anymore, I'm drinking typically water or carbonated water with a little bit of flavor. But that's about all I do for drinking anymore these days.
Fair enough. You know what? It's amazing how much calories there is in alcohol. Yes. And wow, you went through a huge, obvious transformation that we'll get to in a minute, but you know, just even I dropped 30 pounds, and a big chunk of that was like reducing my beer intake, even to the point now where I really only do it for the show and for special occasions. Like it's just like a cheap thing, but you know, when you're having 2 a day, and it's like you know, that's a lot of calories when you think about it.
It is really a lot.
Absolutely. And then when you start tracking it and you start to see where all your calories go, and you're
very eye-opening.
So, well, let's go down that road since we're already here talking about it. So you obviously look great now and fabulous. And the last time I saw you in person, you just got back from a very hot morning walk at Origins, actually.
That's right.
But you had a pretty basic formula to your weight loss. It wasn't anything that, you know, anybody can do. It was, you didn't spend gobs of money on this. You didn't.
Nope.
How much weight did you start at?
Okay, so my total weight loss is like 127 at this point.
Wow. So
127 pounds. So I was 276 pounds, something like that.
You lost 14-year-old me is what you lost.
It's a little crazy, right? Yeah. And I sat next to people on the plane that have told me, wow, you lost an entire me. So I'm like, well, it's pretty crazy. So, and it's definitely noticeable. But really, what it boils down to is the fact that it's just portion control. Is all I still eat pizza. I just eat 2 or 3 pieces instead of 7 or 10.
Right.
Things of that nature, right? So, and then early on, like I said, the only thing I really did cut was drinking calories. That was, other than that, I haven't really cut foods specifically. I mean, I'll eat less, or like I'll make a choice where, well, no fries today. I'll just have a burger,
right.
Or something like that. But it's been strictly around portion control, and no fasting, no carb cutting, no sugar cutting, none of that, because I've done those things in the past, and obviously
they're temporary.
They're temporary. And I wanted to be on a track where I could just do this, right? Just, this is how I do things now, and not, obviously those things work to lose weight, but it's so hard to bring them back into your diet if you totally cut them out.
Right. So, and that's just it, because it's a shock to your system as opposed to what you did, which is a core lifestyle change, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right. Now, what really precipitated that?
So I was in the tech industry for 20 years. And the last couple of years of being in that industry, I worked downtown Fort Collins, and I would go from the parking garage to my desk. And by the time I got to my desk, I was worn out. And I have had asthma since I was a kid, and I was using my inhaler 4 to 8 times a day.
Wow.
Just to get through the day. And so that was part of it. And of course, some of it, I wanted to look better in camera. Obviously, that was some of it.
Sure.
But really, it was just, I just felt terrible all the time. And that was really the big catalyst. And really, all I did initially was, like I said, that portion control. I didn't even exercise initially. And then at some point, I started feeling so much better that I just said, oh, maybe I could go walk, because that's something I could do. I could maintain that. And so at lunch, I would go walk for 15 minutes and turn around and come back. And that's how I started. And now I'm up to like 2 hours or 3 hours, depending on the day. And I walk anywhere from 8 to 12 miles now every day.
Yeah, I saw you log the 15-mile walk the other day, and I'm just like, my goodness.
Like, I wanted to see how far I could push it. I haven't really done that like long endurance test, right?
Right.
And I was like, by the time I hit that 16-mile mark, I was like, okay, I'm ready to be done. Because usually when I get home in the mornings, because I go super early, so I have my whole day to work. But usually I get done, by 9:30 or 10, depending on how early I got started, and then I can work all day. But I'd get home and I'm like, you know what? I could just go again. So I wanted to go really far and just see how much I could push it.
And you drew the map of Florida in Fort Collins as a result.
That's right. It looks like a giant axe or something. I didn't even plan that out. It just turned out that way.
You need to start drawing in your map tracking program now and see if you can what you can create, right?
I know. I really want to do that after that one.
You should be able to get some like pixel art and stuff like that kind of accomplished. Like go here, do a circle.
Yep.
It's a whole new sport. It's going to take it's like geo walking instead of geocaching, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that there's a lot of people, and board gamers, whatever, it's anybody, because our lives are so sedentary, period, right now.
Yeah.
That it's just like, you get stuck doing this short walk to the desk, and then that's it. And you're just like, you're there for the day. And even if you get up and move around, you're still you're not getting to a point of exercise.
No. And what's amazing about now today is that it has been at least 12 months since I've had to use my inhaler at all. I have not even had a hint of any asthma issues. My doctor took me off all my blood pressure medicine because my blood pressure was being super low. So it wasn't really helping anymore. I didn't need it. So all the medicines I was taking for asthma and blood pressure, all done, gone, no longer needed.
Amazing. It's an incredible story, and it's just I love that it's you were very public at the same time. Like you're just kind of like, this is progress. I mean, you weren't doing the whole like, hey, look how skinny I'm getting. It's just all of a sudden out of nowhere, it's just like, hey, less a mark now.
Yep. It's funny because I would do videos, like every week, and people would be like, hey, in the comments, they'd be like, you look great, but are you okay?
Yeah. You get that Penn Jillette, are you okay?
Right.
You're not sick, are you?
Right.
Because I think, well, his was based on that whole the potato diet, the Kevin Smith thing. They did that version, but I think it almost made him look unhealthy at the same time.
I think so too. Yeah,
because it kind of paled him out and made him a little gaunt. And well, you lost a lot of weight, but he has since fleshed back out enough where it looks like he looks healthy again.
Yes, he does.
Which,
that was a little weird, definitely.
Yeah, you're just like
I get worried, because I try to be super encouraging to folks, right? But they're like, "Oh, I'm doing a juice fast." I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm glad that's working for you, but I hope that it allows you to maintain long term."
Yeah, and I think that's the key takeaway, and I think it's what makes your story even more awesome. It's not that it's hey, I lost this much with Jenny Craig. Well, no, it's just, you just researched it. You used a free app. I mean, Audible's not free, but use that.
No, use Audible. So Lose It is phenomenal, and you don't have to pay for it. And great people, and all it is to keep track of stuff. And now it's become like this. I still use it. It's like this meta game almost, and it's like I'm like day 567 of logging or something like that. So,
as we try to become healthier and things like that, it's the complete lifestyle change, and it's what we're told in business. It's also what you're told in photography and any other pursuit. It's whatever you focus on is going to grow or improve, right? And just by putting that data in front of you constantly, it puts it in the front of your mind. So if anything, it's there when you're making these decisions, and whether you make a bad one or a good one, you now have a tool to recognize that. It's
been quite the journey. I didn't even anticipate a lot of the side effects, so to say. Like, there's groups on Facebook that are now asked me to write posts and speak to the folks there, and people at conventions come find me, and I'll do a photo to post to those fitness groups. The board game, what is it? The board game fitness challenge and the skills broken, those guys. So it's been really fun. And it also, it's one of those things you're like, oh man, I can't, you don't realize how upfront you are in front of folks about that and how much they get encouragement from that. I'm just really honored. I didn't expect that. And it's really, really cool.
Right, and I think part of that is it's the humility of it, right? It just kind of, you just made a change that everybody can do and executed your plan, and you didn't even buy a lot of new shoes, because I saw your post when you got rid of your old shoes, and because they were they were long gone when you got rid of them.
Yeah. And so every 3 months or so, I put about 1,000 miles on the shoes.
Wow.
And it's a little crazy, right? So, they get by the 4th month, they're getting pretty worn down, right? So,
I mean,
but that's probably the most fitness money I spend is on my shoes.
That, and then, of course, the Audible subscription, which,
Yes. Oh my gosh. The Audible is huge because it is what has kept me so motivated, because, you listen to music, right? And you exercise. Sure. It's one of those things that, it's the same songs again. Okay. Maybe initially you were pretty motivated by that, and now I got to totally change up my song list or whatever.
Right.
But the thing for me for Audible is that the stories are so engaging, and I've limited myself, with one exception. I've limited myself to, I can't listen unless I'm walking. And the only exception is if I'm on an airplane.
Okay.
But other than that, I can't hear the rest of the story unless I go walk.
Wow. That's, what I was going to ask about that, because it seems like it makes a lot of sense to kind of set up a reward.
Yeah.
But who would think like a book is reward? Well, trust me, when you get into these audiobooks, it's going to keep you out there longer.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I get so engaged. I don't even realize how much time has passed.
Now, it's really funny that we it's very cyclic with this, because I just had Eric Sommer on the show recently, and he recommended the Crane series of books, and then I saw, so I put a post, and then you say you're kind of in that book somehow. So
I am in that book, actually, as Mark Streed. It's pretty funny. I think it's the last book in the series. Well, there's a new one that Eric is working on right now. I think it's book 4. I can't remember. But the third book, I think it is, there's a whole scene in the Sleepy Hollow fire station, and I'm one of the firemen sitting at the table that one of the main characters is cooking for. And I just told the author how I got in the book is I told the author, hey, Eric does your books. I know Eric. And I just wanted to tell you thanks because your books help keep me on track. I really appreciate it. And so he just put me in the book as one of the characters. It was pretty awesome. So
it's kind of an amazing story. See,
yeah,
you too. It only takes losing 120 odd pounds and
That's right.
inspiring a lot of people, and to get into a small cameo in a book.
It was pretty cool, actually.
So when did you find out? Like, did Eric call you? Like, how did that happen?
So this was hilarious. So Eric was like prepping to do that book, right? And I think he was in a car or an Uber or something, and he took a picture of his tablet, and he sends me this text. He goes, "Dude, you're in this book." So that was pretty awesome. I'm like, what? Yeah, it was really fun. So
that's hysterical. It's funny how kind of small some of these worlds get. Like, we don't really realize it until we're in the thick of it, and then we're like, then he's reading your name.
Crazy.
That had to be really meta when you hit that point in the book, right?
It is, especially when I'm walking, because I didn't know where it was. I saw like the paragraph. Eric sent me the paragraph, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna listen. And when I run into it, it was like, whoa, that's really weird.
So what's been the book that kind of got you walking the most? What was the one that was the page turner or the foot pounder, as it were?
It?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's Eric does such a great job that I didn't really start with his books because I didn't realize some of the titles he was doing yet. But
right.
There's another book called Expeditionary Forces. Force. Columbus Day, I think, is the first book. There's been several now. I think there's in book 6. So these books, it's they're really good, and it's about an artificial intelligence and a Marine named Joe, and with the mix of the two of them meeting. This artificial intelligence thinks he's the ultimate of the universe and he's amazing. And Joe says, okay, I'm going to call you Skippy. And so from then on out is this love-hate relationship between the two. And I have never had a book that I am outside walking and I just laugh out loud. It's just, these books are amazing. They're so good. I can't recommend them enough.
I will have to check it out because I kind of reached that point where like you kind of run the course on a bunch of series. So now I'm kind of sitting here kind of like Eric gave me that one. So we're going to try that, and then we'll maybe I'll check those out next.
And Eric's other books, Benjamin Ashwood, did he talk about those?
Yep.
Those, you got to check those out as well. They're really good. So,
well, it's funny. We were talking about how you start to get stuck on like, well, I'll go check on the voice actor and see what else he's done because I know he reads the books I like. So you tend to spiral down that rabbit hole. Did you get a chance to listen to The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by any chance?
No, I have not.
That is a really good one, and I think given what you said about the last one, it's really good. The sequel, completely different ball of wax compared to the first one, but I love the first book. So
awesome. Yep. I'm always looking for titles to add to my list because I blow through them so fast.
Sure, you're probably going through one a week.
Just about. Yep, just about.
So Mark still has a whole nother life that we need to talk about. So we're going to take a quick break. I think I'll insert something that pretends to be funny here, and then we'll be right back after this.
Pontifications with Patrick Hillier.
I have a friend who kept complaining about the cost of repairs to his little Swedish car that was always breaking down. It was one sob story after another.
back. I'm still here with Mr. Mark Streed of Boardgame Corner, hanging out with us, talking about, well, we spent the first half talking about the incredible journey of the weight loss and all that. And we know that you're on Dice Tower, Boardgame Blender, you do tons of segments everywhere. But you now have this whole new thing that's going on. And part of the reason I'm drinking coffee tonight is to honor caffeine, which is Caffeine TV, right? So
yes, caffeine.tv.
So you're doing all kinds of stuff. What is this?
Yeah, so Caffeine is amazing. They are still in the early stages, right? They're the early days of a new streaming service, and everything is still in pre-release. Everything's still kind of being worked out. The bugs are still being worked out, but I really like the community around it, and I like their philosophy. I'm one of their contracted broadcasters, and they, the community and the people I work with there are just phenomenal. And I'm even teaming up with their resident in-house broadcaster. We're going to be doing game day, and we're going to be playing Mysterium. So that's coming up super soon. And then another one of the main broadcasters, her name is Coco, is going to be joining us. And we're going to play, and we're going to give a copy away. So it's going to be really a fun event. And, like I said, everything is kind of early days, right? So being on the ground floor of this is just really fun and exciting. And I'm really interested to see where it goes, because I think there's a lot of ways that their chat works that I prefer, where, typically you see a chat where you've got a chat room and everything's just rolling down, and you might have 30 seconds or more delay. Well, with Caffeine, everything is pretty much real time. There's maybe half second at the worst case, half second delay, if that. And you have all these thought bubbles that pop up as people throw comments out. And it's more of like you're in the middle of a room and people are just chatting back and forth. And I really enjoy that aspect and how they've formulated that so far. So, and there's still a lot of room for growth in how that app works and all the new tools they're going to introduce. But it really is I'm really enjoying this. So I've set up my studio that we've got a permanent machine in here for streaming, and I've got 3 cameras that we use, and I'm really having a good time with it. So you got to check out caffeine.tv.
I definitely see you do a lot of posts on there, and and it's not just you're doing like, oh, we're gonna play this. It's hard right now because I feel like everybody's migrating to Twitch, and we're all leaving YouTube behind. But at the same time, you're like, yes and no, because there's still a whole world of people on YouTube, and it's gonna be hard to break that. It's on so many platforms right now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I don't see YouTube. The thing I like about YouTube, right, is we have edited content.
Yes.
And I'm all about edited content. But the streaming is really nice. And I don't just do board games, right? So I decided that what would be fun is that if I'm going to do a Q&A, I'm going to do a chat.
Right.
Let's do something else. So I just decided, I threw this idea out to Caffeine and said, what do you think about me putting Legos together, like some of the big Star Wars kits? And they were like, oh, that'd be great. And so they're totally behind all the ideas I've had so far. So when I'm doing a hangout, I'm usually assembling some sort of giant, usually it's the big Lego kits, the special edition ones.
Yeah, they're the monsters.
And they're typically the monsters. And typically I'm going after Star Wars related content. But we did put together Voltron, which was pretty cool. That was a fun set. But yeah, I thought if I'm a board game channel, right? I'm going to keep it analog. So let's do Legos.
Like, who would have thought like an adult playing with toys on TV would be the avenue? But it makes total sense because it's one of those things that doesn't require 110% of your brain, and you don't have to be on, so you can interact. So you say you like the chat system. So what makes the chat system like so much easier to use? Because I always find when you stream on things that it's hard to keep up with chat as well as trying to do all the other stuff, right?
I think a big reason it's hard to keep up with chat is because of the delay being so bad.
Okay.
At least that's what it was for me, because you'd be talking to stuff that people had asked, like I said, 30 seconds or longer ago. And the fact that caffeine is practically in real time, you're actually responding immediately when stuff pops up. And it's super attention grabbing because of how they have these thought bubbles jump up.
Right.
And it's like you're carrying on an actual conversation. There's not like a huge delay, right? And I think that's what keeps it engaging. And you try to respond to people as much as possible. And it can get busy, right? Because there's maybe a lot of conversations happening.
Sure.
But what we find out is that a lot of the viewers are starting to even just communicate among themselves. So there's a lot of that happening as well. Yeah, I just like, for me, what it boils down to is the real time aspect, because it just keeps you engaged the whole time. And like I said, it's like I'm sitting across the table talking to somebody.
Right. So. Interesting. And then, when do you try to adhere to a schedule, or are you just kind of, this is when we do things?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I really need to make it more scheduled for sure.
Okay.
And part of the thing is I'm doing caffeine, and then I've got Dice Tower previews that I'm working on. So it just depends on how busy my week is for one or the other.
Sure.
So I hope in the new year, or at least in December, when things are a little quieter, because Kickstarter folks, December is not really like the best time to be doing such things of that nature. So I hope to have a little more time to get caffeine more structured for what I want to do.
And then how much time you can afford to spend on one and the other and things like that.
Yep.
So what's the next big Lego build you're going to be making?
We're going to be starting Monday, and I'm trying to make Monday Lego days, but Monday is Slave One, the special edition Boba Fett's ship, and it's huge, and
it is
just beautiful. It's beautiful. So I think it's almost 2,000 pieces.
That's crazy. I mean, as you can see, I definitely have the Star Wars theme going on in my game room. But I don't have any of the big monster ones because, frankly, they're, I can't justify it, but
yeah, no, I hear you. And now what's crazy, right?
Need some of that big Lego money.
Yeah, it's so funny because those things are now part of like my job. So it's very interesting to see how things change, and I have to get those to provide content, for the streaming service and so forth. So it's a really interesting thing that I always have to pinch myself. I'm like, I get to do this today,
It's incredible. It's like you definitely have the dream job. Like that is literally it. Not only do you get to make board game content, which is a lot of fun, you also get to play with toys all day long.
Yep.
So these are big models, right? I mean, you said Slave One is big, so it's probably going to wind up to be about 2 feet long. Where the heck do these things go, Mark? They're not small.
So I've got some spots in my studio where stuff goes. But around the corner, I've got a theater room, and I've got a lot of models all over the theater room.
Gotcha.
And so that's probably the main place that they go. And now that I'm getting like into the bigger models, maybe some of the smaller models will get retired that I had before. So,
gotcha. I think it's funny because I actually bought like one of my original TIE fighters because I wanted to get the regular size like Defender and things, and I actually bought them off eBay.
Nice.
They just kind of take them apart, box them up, send them with the stuff, and like there you go. It's like literally click, 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 good to go.
And there it is. Yeah. I love the whole assembly process, right? I think it's just, there's something super cathartic about it. I just really, and I even have folks jump into the stream, into the broadcast and say, hey, you don't need to talk. I just like to have you on the background. It's super relaxing. I said, okay.
Yeah, just every now and then, click, click. Okay, so So my question is, how long was it before you realized what that new orange tool is for that they give you with all the Lego sets?
That tool is super, super important because, man,
it's awesome.
It is awesome. When you do something wrong and it's like embedded and you got to dig it out, it's the tool, right? So
I just remember getting like the first set because I think I got one of the original X-Wings. And I remember, I'm like, what is this thing for?
What is this for?
I started doing some I like literally did research on it. I'm like, oh, this is a pry tool. This is it's amazing. Amazing. It's
yeah, like, and I've probably gone through like 3 of them at least because I've had to pry stuff so often. And what's funny is that I used to build these, off camera and they would build really fast. But on camera and talking with folks, I've made more mistakes than I ever have. It's pretty funny. So,
I think we all have the Legos when we were kids that, it's the little thin 2x1s and there's probably teeth mark on, sides of them from when we used to do them.
Absolutely. Pull them off.
Right? Because we used to build the space sets back in the day. I had so many gray bricks, I had no idea what to do with them all. But that was it. We didn't have, we get to relive it. Now you got models that, the X-Wing's open. I love the Y-Wing and the B-Wing or just, even the standard ones, not even the gorgeous ones.
I love the B-Wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the B-Wing is awesome.
So on there, like I got to know, Mark, when are you going to get the Executor class in there? Because I want to see that. That thing's like 6 feet long.
I would like to see that too. Yeah, it is. I'm trying to work a deal to build that huge Falcon in December. So we'll see if that happens. Maybe that's in the works potentially. So keep an eye out for that.
Sounds kind of awesome. I definitely think so. So you do a lot of stuff and you're enjoying the Star Wars, but I imagine if there was Star Trek Legos that you'd be building those first.
I would absolutely be doing those as well. That's so Star Trek is one of those things that has followed me through life. When I was a kid, run home from school to watch it. In my previous life, I was a straight up photographer, a newspaper photographer. I worked for a magazine in Denver called Fan Clubs Inc.
Right.
And I was their only photographer, and I would shoot merchandise for the magazine. But I got to be on set for Star Trek: The Next Generation, for DS9. I got to be conventions and meet with several of the cast members. And then we also did some stuff for Lucasfilm. And so I was on set for Back to the Future Part 2.
Wow.
And being part of that world is still ever present. My buddy Dan Matson, who was the president publisher, he's a little person, and he's known throughout the fan community really well. And he's now Ashley Eckstein's publicist, and she does her universe, and she's the voice of Ahsoka Tano in Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Right.
So it's because of Dan that I got to do all these amazing things and be part of the Star Trek and my own little corner of the Star Trek world, right?
That's still kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Is it true that everybody who visited the set of Next Generation got to slap Wesley at least once? Or is that just rumor?
Well, I didn't get to.
Oh.
I did, he was very teenager when I met him on set.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, we got to cut kids a break, right? I mean, but
yeah,
that was just, they tried, what I think is hysterical is they tried to make Wesley the breakout character. And with that, it ended up being Data 110%. It's just like, it got completely overshadowed. I think if you check the polls, I think people liked Spot the Cat better. I think it, especially the first round, right? The first round before.
Right. Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yeah. He took it pretty personally too, I think, for a while.
Yeah. And it's tough. And, he kind of fits that. I'd love to get him on, the show someday at some point to kind of talk about it, because I think it'd be really interesting to kind of see, and he's talked about it enough. I mean, if you go and listen to it, he's very upfront about, he's like, he knows he was a little turd nugget back then. And, not exactly full of himself, but, they didn't really help him out with the writing in the uniform either,
No.
But shut up, Wesley.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny because there's so many moments. I can't even tell you. There's so many, like walking up to the stage and Jonathan Frakes is out front and he's like, right this way for the Brent Spiner show and things like that, that just memorable moments like that, and just, I'm standing on the transporter platform. How amazing is this? My 12-year-old self was freaking out. And everybody, and what's interesting is that with the exception of DeForest Kelly, all the other cast members that I knew and met and still know,
right?
They always remembered me as, oh yeah, you work with Dan, right? But DeForest Kelly, who played Dr. McCoy, he always remembered my name. He actually read the magazine. He knew all the people that worked there. And he was an amazing, amazing guy for sure.
Wow.
So
that's got to be an awesome, cherished memory. I can only imagine what it would be like.
I was so nervous. And what's crazy is that being in that world maybe has prepared me for this world, right? Because I was always behind the camera.
Sure.
And I saw what some of the questionable celebrities and how they treated some of the fans. I'm like, if I was ever in that position, I would never do that. So when anybody stops me at a convention, I don't care what I'm doing, I always stop and take time and say hi and whatever. So I think it maybe helped prepare me for this particular role I'm in, which I never would have guessed I would ever be in this role. If you told me 5 years ago that you'll be up in front of thousands of people at conventions and videos, I would have been like, no. So
it's amazing. And you know what? I can definitely attest to that humility because, I always seem to run into you and you're always on your way somewhere because we all know when you're at these conventions, Tom runs you.
Yes.
You have a schedule and he keeps you busy. So when you have a moment and you can leave, it's kind of cherished time, right? You don't get away very often. And you're still always gracious. Even when you came back from the walk, you just wanted to grab a bottle of water and get up and get a shower. And you still stopped and chatted for a few minutes, which I found,
Yep, absolutely.
It's amazing. And it's, very humbling. And I hope, someday when I make it big, that I learn from those lessons as well.
It's such a weird phenomenon, right? It feels funny to some degree. I'm like, I'm just a guy. I've got a camera.
Right.
That's it, really. So I always want people to feel super relaxed. Hey, you want a photo? You want to just chit chat? Whatever. Let's talk.
Right.
So I want to be accessible, and even if I'm running to a meeting, which these days at conventions I'm going to meeting after meeting, I still will always try to stop and take time. So.
Speaking of, where are you going to be? Any conventions later this year, or are you done?
Yep. So I'm headed to PAX Unplugged. I'll be there. And then So are you going to be there?
Oh yeah, that's in my backyard. So I will most certainly be there. In your backyard.
That's awesome. Yeah, we'll have to sync up for sure.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's my next stop. I'm not going to Essen. I wanted to, but it just timing didn't work out, and my schedule for the Dice Tower previews is so full in October. Because, it's like October is kind of the last ditch effort to really get your campaigns in. There's still a handful of stuff in November that I'm working on, but October is really like, one after another. So over the last 3 days, I've filmed a different one every day.
Wow.
And it's pretty crazy. So Dice Tower previews are going really well. Tom has been super awesome. Feel super honored that he brought me in and lets me do this. And people always ask too, how do you stay objective? It's a paid preview. I'm like, well, just because it's a paid preview doesn't mean I can't say something I like about it.
Right.
And so I always try to find one or two things that I like about the game. And then we say at the end after that, but still, ultimately, it's up to you to decide if it looks like something you'd like to support. I'm not here to tell you to back it, but I'm just here to show you the game.
Yeah, so. And I think that, it's a really smart way in today's day and age of, all the accountability that people want out of everybody to kind of have, one person handles that. So it makes a lot of sense because now there's no obvious conflict, right? Well, it's a marked video. It's a paid preview. So
it's a paid preview. Yep.
You know what you're going to get out of that versus, somebody else. You're like, it's awkward.
Right. And I think as far as reviews go, I think most of the reviews that I would do these days is if it's a follow-up to a preview.
Okay.
So the preview's been done and it's a year later. the published game comes in. Hey, let's compare it to what we did in the prototype and take a look at what's changed and what's different. And now maybe here's what I think of this game, final score or something like that. But
I definitely would like to see that about all the ones you're kind of excited for, right? I think that
Yes,
would be interesting to see. Like, I'm really excited for this game to come out and then get to see the final product and get to see, does it live up? Does it blow it away? Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Awesome.
So I'd like to do some of that series. I've got 2 games that are kind of on the docket for that right now. I have the Reckoners and Dice Settlers. And both of these I'm going to probably do in December. So
excellent. Awesome. Yeah. Well, this has been great, Mark. I've really enjoyed getting to know you, talk to you, and
yeah, thanks.
Wow, so much stuff. I have a new book recommendation. I mean, this
right.
is motivation. It's a treasure trove. Awesome stuff. And I have
thanks
a potential.
For having me on. This has been so fun.
Yeah, and I have a potential invite to Colorado. So it came.
That's right.
The skier in me is excited about that. So. Well, we like to wrap every show up with a little bit of a game. So
okay.
I think Dan has something that might actually be up the Kickstarter alley at some point.
Oh no.
I don't know. We'll see what he has up his sleeve. But you and I'll find out when we come back after this.
All right. Sounds good.
Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying the show. Real quick, I just wanted to take a moment to let you know a few things about us. Number one is we have a Pod Pledge page. Now on there, you can donate any amount, monthly, weekly, daily, whatever, and any of that goes directly to support the show, build the sets, better equipment, and all those things. I'm not trying to get rich. I'm not trying to quit my day job. Just anything helps. Number two is please check out our social media. If you're not following us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, please do so. We definitely interact with our people a lot on there because we want you guys to be part of this show. Also, be sure to subscribe to YouTube. You know that little red button down there? Make sure you're clicking that and also do the bell icon so that you can get notified whenever we post a video. Once, twice, maybe 3 times a week. Lastly, please be sure to tell your friends. Whether you retweet something, whether you go out and you tell them about the channel, show them a show, anything you can do to get the word out, we would greatly appreciate it. So that's it. I'm now going to return you to your regularly scheduled program. Operators are standing by. So you're still here, so obviously you know how much fun it is to have game time.
It's game time!
Yes, it is.
So Mark is with me, and Dan has brought out the first repeat, potentially. I think it is.
We've done some things more than once before.
Yeah, but I think this is the first, we're doing this again, because we knew the first time we played this, that this is pure gold, that we need to do this again.
Which naturally means that we're playing Medium,
yes.
Brought to us by Danielle, Lindsay, and Nathan at Storm Chaser Games. This is a game that they're still in pre-production. I don't even think they've gone to Kickstarter with this yet, so keep an eye out for it. But we've enjoyed the concept so much that we have to do it again.
Yeah, and I think you're in for a treat. This is a lot of fun. So Dan, what are we trying to do?
Okay, so the essence of Medium is that you guys are you're playing as a team, you're working together to try to find make a psychic connection and find what they say is the medium between 2 words, which is essentially the word that intersects or is halfway between 2 words. So what do I mean? I am going to pull a card from the deck and give you your first word. So for instance, I might pull a card and the word is male. And then it would be your turn, Chris, to provide the second word in the pair. So you'd look at your hand of cards, you'd pick out a word to pair with male. So you pull out the word cow. Now, the challenge is that you and Mark have to find the medium between male and cow. So you guys will look deeply into each other's eyes, you'll make a psychic bond, and then I'll count you down, 3, 2, 1. You'll each blurt out a word, and
Pony Express.
Hopefully that word would be bull, and you guys would, you would both say it at the same time, and it would be a successful round. If you fail to, if one of you says Pony Express and one of you says Bull, then we'll do another round for less points, for fewer points. So if you get it on the first shot, that's worth 5 points. If you get it on the second, with those new pairs of words, now you'd be finding the intersection between Pony Express and Bull. If you can get it on that one, that's worth 3 points. If we go all the way to a third round and you can get that, that's worth 1. If you miss on the third round, we'll move on to another set of words.
Sounds good.
Does that all make sense?
Sure.
All right, so ready to get started here?
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
What could possibly go wrong?
That's the confidence
Right.
I'm looking for.
I've got a good feeling about this.
All right. So one of your first 2 words, I've just drawn the top card of the deck, is table. Now, Mark, what I'd like you to do is look through your hand of cards and pick a word to pair with table.
Sticky.
Okay. Now your words are sticky and table. Now, Chris, I want you to look deep into Mark's eyes. I want you guys to reach into each other's thoughts. Make a psychic connection. You're trying to find the word which joins sticky and table. The word that is the medium between them.
Okay.
Do we have a bond here? Do we have a connection? Can I count you down?
I think so.
Yes.
I want you guys to say it at the same time. In 3, 2, 1.
Gum.
Spill.
Okay. All right.
Madness.
It's all my years in restaurant work and having to degum tables.
Oh, I see where you're coming from.
I was thinking spilling something, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking that too, but I couldn't phrase it in a way that I felt comfortable with. Okay.
So I think this might have gotten harder now. So you guys
Just a bit.
missed your 5-point opportunity. But for 3 points, can you find the word that is the medium between spill and gum?
Oh my gosh. Let's see.
And remember, the right answer is the one your teammate is also producing.
Yeah,
That's true. That is the key here.
Okay.
All right, Chris is locked in.
I got something.
Send it to Mark. Send it to Mark. He's
Sending.
still
Send
searching
it.
for. All right.
Send it.
All right.
All right. In 3, 2, 1.
Root beer.
Mess. Oh,
Wait, what was your word, Mark?
mess.
Mess.
Oh, no, see,
Oh,
see, he's gooder at this than me.
You're really going.
disaster. Like
root beer was exceedingly specific. That was a.
Well, I was trying to think of
I was
like
thinking more general.
a
Right?
soda flavored gum was where my brain was. I'm like, what?
I was
soda
thinking
flavor?
a gum and a spill. It makes a mess, right?
All right.
All right, so you guys have one last shot at this round.
Wow.
Then maybe we
This
should just put a
awesome.
stake in it right now. But
This is gonna be great.
Maybe so.
one last shot to find the intersection for a single point between root beer and mess.
And we can't use a word we already used.
Correct.
So spill is out.
Yep, spill is out.
All right.
Okay.
As is sticky. No repeating from the same round.
Okay.
All right.
I think I got what I got.
Me
In
too.
3, 2, 1.
Float.
Overflow. Float. No, that's good. I was thinking spilling over, trying to say it a different way.
I was
Overflow.
too, but every time I make a float with root beer, I overflow the cup. So we were thinking the exact same thing.
All right,
right.
so round one.
I think we should get a point anyway for that. It was close.
I think that's pretty darn close.
It's like
Dan's not that generous, believe me.
and grenades, right?
I do.
Well, we do get 3 chances, though.
Do you do
True.
rules videos too, Mark? Because I don't think this is how it's going to work. Let me put a big old X here where round one is.
Yeah.
Because there will be no sympathy points. All right. We had 3 shots we couldn't do. All right. But it's okay because that was your warm up.
Oh,
you guys,
okay.
You guys, you needed to
That's
establish
our mulligan?
things.
Okay.
Loose.
Exactly. Now I think you're on the same vibe. So now it's going to work fine. Your next word is fireworks, and I want Chris to provide a word to pair with fireworks.
Okay. Ketchup.
You're allowed to pick one to make it easy, but okay. All right.
Wow.
All right.
My choices are not very good.
All right, that's fine.
Although
that's
now
fine.
in retrospect, there might have been a better one.
Okay, but this is what we're going.
Okay.
We're going with.
This is what we're stuck with.
We're going to find the intersection between the words fireworks and ketchup.
Right. Remember what I was saying about your brain goes down a rabbit hole and gets stuck there?
See, in this you want to open your mind.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, it's kind of closed.
Right. I feel like there's multiple directions here. This is not.
No. As we learn when I play most of these games, I tend to go, oops, that could be a lot of things.
Yes.
Well, I tell you, longtime viewers will remember my clue giving in the game of Muse. In which exactly the three, in which in retrospect it was every other card was a better match for my clue.
No, it was 5 out of 6, Dan.
yeah, I mean, every other card was better than the one that I was actually trying to get you to guess. So it was dreadful.
Okay. I think I got it. Well, I know I have it because it's what I wanted to do in the first place. So.
All right. Well, hopefully
Mark has
you've been
received
urgently transmitting these thoughts to Mark so that he can be on the same page.
Okay. You know what? It's the time zones that's messing me up.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
You want to be sending your thoughts west. You want to be sending them. That's the.
Go west, young man.
All right. Ready, guys? In 3, 2, 1.
4th of July.
Park. Yeah. I said park. But
yeah, no, see, yeah, I was thinking, it was the same thing. It's just the wrong words for the same thing.
I was thinking we're giving. Are we supposed to give one word though? Or are we supposed to give phrases?
Yeah.
I believe this is intended. I believe if we're playing according to the strict rules, it is intended to be a single word.
Single word. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I went with park.
Code names. So
July 4th.
Yeah.
No, that's still at least 2. You've trimmed one, but
it's compound, right? It's hyphenated. All right.
So it's okay. It's okay. There's still a chance to bring this one back.
I like your. I appreciate your optimism.
Oh yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
I have full faith. But now we're working with park and 4th of July. From now on, we will have no more phrases. This is we're sticking to single words from here on out, Chris.
One word. All right.
But the word that joins park and 4th of July, and no, you can't repeat fireworks.
I was gonna say it. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Oh, okay. I got mine.
Well, you better send it.
I'm sending it.
All
Get
right.
it.
I'm drawing blanks. Or I'm not. I keep thinking 4th of July and fireworks now.
Nope, you gotta let that go. See, that's the key. That's the essence to these repeated rounds.
Let it go.
You have to put that. Just
Grab
let it drift
onto it.
away. Okay, you can't stay stuck in that circle that will leave you unable to make your connection.
All right.
All right, here we go. Between park and 4th of July.
Yep.
In 3, 2, 1.
Barbecue.
Cookout.
Oh, wow. You guys got there. You made the bond.
Yes.
It's just
bond, right?
synonyms got in your...
I think that should totally
Goddamn
count.
synonyms.
No. It's okay.
Synonyms?
It does not count, but it's okay because now you have come so close that this
So
last
close.
point, your
You get
last
a whole
opportunity to
point.
get a single point in this round should be easy because now you guys have
yeah.
cookout and barbecue.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1.
Hamburgers.
Brisket. Oh.
You went highbrow. I went.
You even arrived at the same meat, the same animal.
Different form.
Oh man.
Man, there's just no site. There's an operator that has hung up on us, and there's no connection.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't light enough candles apparently.
I think it worked out much better in the end than table and sticky. I mean, a more generous judge than I might have given you cookout and barbecue. That's how close you got.
I think that one's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, so, given the track record, I call that a complete and utter win.
All right, so that means that obviously you've gotten so close that clearly you're heading in the right direction. So this next word, this next pair of words,
love your optimism.
It's all going to work out. So your first word, one of two, is cough.
Cough.
And I'd like you, Mark, to provide the second word to go with cough.
Okay. Ghost.
Cough and ghost. Some pondering is happening. I think Mark's looking with confidence, like he knows his word.
I do.
I think he would. Because he knows it. It's in his brain.
So that's it. You just have to let it in, Chris.
I'm trying.
Grab onto it.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
In 3, 2, 1.
Smoke.
Sick. Oh. So sad.
It even started well. The S
started with an S.
was promising. I thought we might have been there. And
sick and smoke.
Okay. It's okay.
Ghost.
Still not feeling that.
Well.
All right.
So sick and smoke.
All right. Sending you what I got.
I bet if you were walking, that would make you both like more susceptible to the right vibes. I think that's probably the key.
That's what it
is. That's it's blocking.
The only problem is I would have to get up at like 3 a.m. to do that segment with it.
Time zones are a challenge. All right, sick and smoke. All right, I'm going to count you down. In 3, 2, 1.
Cancer.
Burn. Oh. No, I had burn. Burn.
You need to look and see that he's not in the same dark place, Chris.
No, I went full on. Yeah. I'm like, emphysema? COPD? Wow.
It's more of an acronym than a word, but it's okay. It's okay because I think you have done it. I think you have gotten yourselves into this perfect spot because I, for one, can see the word that's sitting out there waiting for you halfway between cancer and burn. And I just need you guys to reach out and grab it.
I've got it. Gotta grab onto this one.
Mark and I could get a point right here, Chris.
All right.
Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1.
Chemotherapy.
Patient.
And here, by the way, we wouldn't have. I thought ward.
Yeah, but patient works because it works for both of them.
Works.
Yeah.
Like burn patient, cancer patient.
Strong.
I was thinking literal, like
you're actually
radiation burns.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Actually, that wouldn't have been chemotherapy then.
Let me scan the board here and see what we're standing at. We're currently at 0 points.
0 points.
Hey, there's one pity point out there. You're just not willing to give it.
I think
probably your best game ever, right?
I think the last time we played this, we had 1. So don't feel bad.
Okay, so all right, don't feel too bad.
All right. So I think what we'll do is we'll do one more round, and this is where you can reclaim.
Gotta reclaim
your dignity right here. This is
all
where you get back on.
Redeem ourselves, not reclaim. At this point.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so for redemption, your first word is nose. N-O-S-E, nose. And Chris, can you provide a word to pair with nose? If it's any consolation, you didn't burn a good one in ketchup, because that wouldn't have made any sense.
I see what you did there.
That was good. That was clever.
Wow. All right. No, I can't. Ask me to come back to this one because my brain is saying this one thing, and there's no way that would end up anyplace good.
Okay, we can review that after you guys successfully get 5 points here. You can let us know what path you did not choose.
All right.
Hit us. What's the word?
Roller coaster.
Whoa.
Okay. So we're looking for the
I might be playing for the second clue on this, not the first.
That's some deep game. That's a
Okay.
long strategy. So nose and roller coaster.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm grabbing at straws.
All right. Well, I'm giving straws, so that's fair.
All right. Are you ready, Mark?
Ready?
Okay.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1.
Bleed?
Bloody. Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's it, guys. 5 points. I couldn't do cookout and barbecue, but bleed and bloody, we are there.
Absolutely.
I'm like it. So you can give me another word because you gave me England and nose. So my answer would have been Prince Charles.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, that's fine. Maybe you would have got that, but you probably wouldn't have. And then where the heck do you go from there?
Yeah, I don't know.
So there's like, I'm like, it would be funny, but it wouldn't go anywhere.
No.
No.
This was good though. This was good.
All right.
Well
Shall we
played,
give it
well
one
played.
more?
Oh yeah. I've got more cards if you want to go for a bonus round here. Now you're feeling full of confidence after that.
Yeah.
You don't want to just
I
quit
don't want
on
to be
your.
that person who goes out on a high note. I want to prove that it wasn't a fluke or it completely was. I want to know.
Okay, I would love to see a repeat
I
performance.
mean, I think we know the answer to that, but I think it's important to prove it.
All right, for our final round now, the bonus round.
Okay.
The first word off the deck is wild.
Okay.
And Mark, do you have a word to pair with wild?
I do. I.
Okay, so our words are wild and I.
All right. I think I got something. I don't know if it'll work.
All right, I'm going to
We'll
hear
try
what it is
it.
in 3, 2, 1.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Oh! That's beautiful.
You know your
That was
crazy eyes.
Yeah.
See, not
That
a
was
fluke.
pretty epic.
Not at
That was
all.
epic right there.
Took you guys a while to open up to each other, but once
That's right.
you got there,
Had to
back
make
to
that
back.
connection. That was pretty
Absolutely.
epic.
Truly epic. That was,
It really was.
I was amazed. Amazed.
I think
That
we
just doesn't-
dominated, right? We ended up dominating. We started slow, but then we dominated.
Yeah, 6 points in the end there, right?
No, that was a full 10 points, by the way.
Oh,
because
10.
those were both
Yeah.
first round clues. So
First
for a full
round
5 points
picks.
on each of those. That's a full 10 points.
That's amazing. Well done,
Yep.
sir. Well done.
You too.
Good
Well
choice.
done.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, like
That
you
was
say,
fun.
co-ops make the best stories, right?
They do. Absolutely.
Right. And I hope that the Storm Chaser kind of gets it together and gets this thing into production and
we are
gets
certainly big
market
fans.
copies so that we can kickstart the daylights out of this thing.
No doubt.
I do love it. So thanks for playing along, Mark. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Really fun. Thanks.
Awesome. So if people want to find you, and I certainly hope they do, what are some of the
hope so.
best ways for them to do so?
So on Twitter, we're very active there, and it's Board Game Corner. We're on Facebook as well. You can just find me on Facebook. We're on Instagram, but I'm not there as much as maybe I should be. But on Instagram, It's BG Corner. I just don't like, Instagram is better now, but when I started using Instagram, I didn't like how limiting the tools were.
Sure.
And little things like I should be able to put a link in, but no, things like that really annoy me. So there, and then of course, caffeine.tv, and of course on the Dice Tower Network, you can find me. We have our own channel for the game previews. It's just game previews on the Dice Tower, so make sure you check us out there. So those are the main places for sure. And if you are interested in having one of your games featured as a Dice Tower preview, definitely reach out to me at mark@dicetower.com.
Awesome. So thanks a lot. I mean, obviously, many places to find Mr. Mark, and one of them will probably be wandering around Fort Collins on his many mile walks, as it were.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, sir, for being on. Thank you, Mr. Dan, for a great game.
Yes.
Thanks, you
Dan.
at home for watching. So be sure that the next time you game all night, that drink light.
Well, that's a wrap. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed our efforts at comedy and fun, please support us on Podpledge. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And of course, don't forget to engage with us on Boardgame Geek Guild 3134. You can also check us out on our website, gameallnightshow.com.
And this show has been made possible through supporters like these.
Game All Night is proud to be sponsored by Game Toppers. Check them out at GameToppersLLC.com, upgrading your gaming experience.
Angry octopus.
I think my latest one that we did was Star Trek Panic. And we were down to the Enterprise was toast. But we brought it back from the brink. We literally...
Yeah, it's definitely happening. I don't know what their time frame
Give him a quick, swift kick in the butt.
Yeah, they're workshopping it a lot before they...
What'd you do?
Indeed.
Nothing's broken. It's
okay.
Good. You have cards. Here, let me unplug and bring you your cards. They're sitting right here.
Hopefully you put them so that my logo's up right this time.
Oh, that's
the last time I had to hold a fake card in the back because they were all upside down. It was pretty good.
Only one is upside down.
awesome.
I did better.